Hey guys, I'm Burgundy from Slip Stitch Jane. Today I'm going to show you a pattern that I have recently wrote up. It's called the Seeker's Cowl, and I feel like it is very versatile depending on what color you use, and you can wear it with almost any wardrobe. Like I said, depending on the colors you choose. It's a very simple repeat row. After the first building up, it's going to repeat up to the end, and it's very quick. It's very easy to do. You could probably do it after you get the repeat down. You could sit there and do it without any thought. But I hope you guys enjoy, and let's move on. Okay, so the materials needed for this pattern will be a tapestry needle to sew in the ends and sew the panel together, crochet hook size J or 6mm, worsted weight yarn. I used Caron 1 pound in the colorway lace. It takes about 164 yards, and let's move on into the pattern. Okay, so the pattern starts off by making a slip knot. There's many different ways to make a slip knot. I just kind of go with it. Okay, so you start off by chaining 80. So it's 1, 2. Okay, after chaining 80, you want to make sure to add one more chain, so you have 81 in total. So the next step will be to half double crochet into the second stitch from the hook, not the first but the second. So what you do is yarn over, insert your hook into that second chain, yarn over again, pull through so you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Once again, you yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, yarn over again, pull through so you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and yarn over, insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through so you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and you'll continue this for about 30 chains, and I'll meet you back at the end of the 30 half double crochets. Okay, so finishing up my 30 half double crochets, I will yarn over, insert the hook into this chain, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So you should have 30 half double crochets in total so far. If you want to take a second to count them and make sure. And so next we're going to do 5 double crochets. So as a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops, kind of like the half double, yarn over one time, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, so you have 2 left over after you pull through, yarn over again, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. So yarn over, insert, yarn over again, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And you want to do this 5 times, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull to the next. And you want to make sure you have 5, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my last one, yarn over, insert, pull, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so you want to make sure you have 5 to do that little pattern on the cowl. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the rest of this row, you just want to do half double crochets. So go straight into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, and then you have 3, pull through all 3, and you just want to do half double crochets for the remainder. It should be, I want to say 45 half double crochets, and then I'll meet you down at the end of the round. Okay, so finishing up this round, half double crochet into the last stitch. So you pull through all 3, and then at the end of each row you're going to chain 1 to turn. But before we move on to the second row, it'll look something like this. It'll be like completely straight, and then you have a little bump. But the next row will show you how it evens out whenever you get to this little section. So you're going to turn your work and then half double crochet into that same stitch. So like I said, chain 1, yarn over, insert your hook into that first half double crochet into the top, underneath, like right there. Yarn over, pull through all 3. So yarn over, insert into not the top but the side right there. Yarn over and pull through all 3. And then you're going to do that for 45 down until we get to the double crochets. And I'll meet you down there. Okay, and so I'm finishing up my last half double crochet, so you have a total of 45. And so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all 3, like every other half double crochet. So you're going to make sure that you have your 5 double crochets right here. So the first step on, we're going to do the back double post crochet. That's the next in the second round. So what you do is yarn over, you go into the front of your work, you insert till you have it to the back, so you'll have the hook facing towards you, and then you go through around, so you'll have the double crochet on the front side of the hook, go through the other side. So what you're going to have is the double crochet looped over like that. So you yarn over, pull through, and you're going to pull all the way through behind that double crochet and to the other side. And like the double crochets before, you're just going to yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your first back post double crochet. So to even this out, to make it flat on the end, I've done the back post, half double, back post, half double, back post. So instead of putting like back post, front post, back post, front post, this kind of evens out your edge. So you'll make sure to, whenever you, from now on the pattern, when you have that back post or front post, you're going to make sure that you skip a stitch right there and go into the next stitch. So it's going to look like you skipped a stitch, but you haven't. You just, the stitch that was supposed to be right here is up here now, because it went around it instead of through it. So you do your half double in the next stitch, then you yarn over, like I said, you take your hook, poke it through the side. I'm going to pull it apart. If it's easier for you to pull this apart to see it, then by all means do. Just go through. So you're pointed towards you, wrap it around that stitch, go through the other side. Yarn over, and then you'll pull through all the way up. So you'll have, oops, dropped it. So insert, around, yarn over, pull through, like I said, pull up. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Like I said, that looks like you're skipping that, but you're not, because it's up here instead of down there. So yarn over, insert to the next double crochet, yarn over, pull through. So you have 3, and then pull through all 3. So this is the last back double crochet. So you yarn over from the front facing away from you. You insert your hook, so it's pointing towards you. Make sure you move your hook around that stitch, poke through the other side. So like I said, you're going to have the stitch basically on top. Yarn over, and if you have to do it, like flip it up to where you can kind of see it, that's fine. When I first started out, that's what I would do. And then you make sure you have 3 loops on your hook, pull through, and then you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And as you can tell, it's starting to slowly even out. So there's not like a big like bulge of double crochets. So the half double crochet kind of evens it out to where it looks a little bit more flat and less like standout-ish. So like I said, you're going to have, it's going to look like you're skipping a stitch, but you're not, because like I said, it's up here, not down here. So you go into the next stitch, so you skip this right here, because you already have it up here. you insert, and then you just start half double crocheting down the row. And you just continue this 30 times until you get to your last stitch. And at the end of this row, you'll chain 1 and then turn. Okay, so we're finishing up row 2, putting the last half double crochet into that last stitch. So you're gonna half double crochet, chain 1, and then turn your work. And so for row 3, we're gonna work a half double crochet into the first 30 stitches. And so just continue down until you get to where your back post double crochets were from the last round. I'll meet you there. Okay, so finishing up the 30th half double crochet so far. So make sure you go right beside, finish that up. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is the front post double crochets. So what you do is yarn over, and you'll notice that back post from your last round, there's a ridge there. You don't go into the top of the stitch, you go to that ridge and you go behind it. So in one side, out the other. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over 2, yarn over. And like I said, from like the back post, you'll see right there it looks like you're skipping a stitch. You're not, it's just up here where you did that back post or the front post double crochet. So you'll yarn over, do a half double crochet into that half double crochet from the previous round, yarn over, pull through all 3. Once again, we come back to a previous back post double crochet. So what you do is yarn over, like I said, you go behind the stitch, so you go behind that little ridge, and it's one side, out the other. So basically you want the stitch in front of the hook. So yarn over again, and then pull through, so you have 3 on there, just like any other double crochet. You yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Half double crochet into that same half double crochet behind, or on the side of it. Like I said, it's going to look like you're skipping stitches right there, but they're up here where you did your front post double crochet. So once again, yarn over, insert behind your stitch. Make sure you're not going through it or like halfway through. You want to get the whole stitch up and over. Yarn over, pull through, and then you have 3 on your hook. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then, like I said, it's going to look like you're skipping a stitch, but you're not. It's up here. So you yarn over and go into the next half double crochet, and then you crochet into half double crochet into the next 45 stitches. And I'll meet you back. Okay, so finishing up the 45 half double crochets at the end of this round. So we're going to chain 1, turn. And so this part of this, honestly, like the beginning and the end of the pattern, whatever like half double crochets you end with is what you're going to start with. So like we ended with 45, so you're going to start with 45. And over here, if you end with 30, you're going to start with 30. So basically you're just going over here to get to this point and doing the either front post or back post you're working on, and then continuing down. So we're going to do 45 half double crochets, and then I'll meet you back when we get to the back post double crochet. Okay, so I'm finishing up the last half double crochet in the 45 across we've done so far. With this pattern, the way it works is you'll do 45 one way, your little increment area here, and then you'll do 30. And then say if you end with 30, you're going to start with 30, increment, end with 45, like so on and so forth. So it's basically just doing the same number depending on which side you're on. But we're going to move on to the back post double crochet. With this, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook. The way you're going to do it, the way I do it, depending on how simple like I want it to be, I'll like turn it up this way, insert down into the stitch beside the front post. Then you'll see it coming out this way towards you. Stick it through the other side, yarn over, draw through, and then you'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And the way it works, it'll look easier and easier each time you do it, because with the front post and the back post double crochet, it leaves kind of a gap there. So it kind of like lets you know exactly where you're going. The thing is, you just gotta make sure you go into the side right here and come up through the other side, depending on which side you're on. And you wrap around that stitch. You're not going into the stitch, you're going around the stitch. And like I said before, you're gonna have it where you look like you skip a stitch, but it's not, because that stitch is up here now. So that what counts for there is up here. So you go to the half double crochet into the next stitch, and once again with the back post double crochet, you're gonna yarn over, insert into that hook, like that space. Like I said, right there, you'll see it really easily. You'll insert, point it towards you, and then go through that other gap over here on the other side of that hook or the stitch through that. So you'll have it like, you'll want the stitch behind the crochet hook when you're looking at it this way. So you'll see like your hook and then the stitches on this side. So you yarn over, pull through. You get there and try it again. Yarn over, insert towards you, and then you go through that space. So like I said, the stitch is going to be on it like that. Yarn over, pull through, so you got 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Half double crochet into the next stitch, and then finally the last one. Like I said, it's going to be easier once you have the posts there, because it's going to be easier to indicate where you're going. So like right here, you'll see that space right here, this space right here. So you'll insert, hook pointing towards you, and that little space right there, you're going to go back through that. So you're going to have towards you, back through that, and you're going to have that stitch on top of it. But from, if you're looking at it this way, it's going to be on top of it. If you're looking on this way, it's going to be behind it. So you yarn over, pull through. My biggest problem is not pulling the whole stitch with it. So yarn over, you have 3 on your hook, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then you just, like I said, you're going to look like you're skipping that, but you're not, because the stitch that counts for that is up here now. So you just start half double crocheting along, and you'll be half double crochet 30 times. Or I look at it this way, I half double crochet after that right there is done. I'll half crochet to the rest of the round, chain 1 turn, go back. Okay, so I just finished up row 4 with 30 stitches. Like I said, the way the pattern works, you'll do 30 one way, your front post double crochet or your back post double crochet sequence, and then 45, and then be back like 45 this section, 30. And so, and it's a repeat of row 3 and 4. So you get done with row 3, so the next way you go around row 4, and so on and so forth. You just keep alternating, and you'll notice what you're doing before, like you'll notice the pattern of which one you do on which side you're on. And it's just a repeat of that for 20 rows. And so I'm going to do row technically 5, which is a repeat of 3, one more time so we can go through this again together. And I'll meet you back whenever we get done with our 30 half double crochets. Okay, so we just finished up our 30 half double crochets until we got to this point. What you do here is, like row 3, you're going to yarn over, and see that the texture right here is going to be so much easier to find that stitch. So you yarn over, you go behind that stitch, make sure the whole stitch, the whole bar is on top of your hook. So you're going to yarn over, pull all the way through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Half double crochet on top of that half double crochet right there. Like I said, yarn over, insert your hook, pull stitch on top of it, yarn over, pull through, have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Half double crochet on top of that half double crochet from the previous round, pull through all 3 of those, then you yarn over, insert behind that, like I said, with the whole stitch. The further you go along, the you're going to be so used to it. Also, you're going to have that right there, that big gap. Not that big of a gap, but that gap given by the texture to put your hook behind it without any hassle, usually. So yarn over, pull through 3, or pull through 2, you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And like I've said before, if you started or you ended with 30, you're going to start with 30. You can do your texture, end with 45, start with 45. And it's literally a simple repeat of row 3 and 4, and you're going to repeat those rows until you reach a total of 20 rows all together, and then you're going to do row 21, and that'll be it. But like I said, you're just going to repeat row 3 and 4 over and over again until you have a total of 20 rows. And if there's anything that you need help on or need to like pause, go back, relook at, I mean, feel free, perfectly fine to, or pause until you get up to the next point, and I'll meet you at the end of row 20. Okay, so at the end of row 20, do your last half double crochet, chain 1 and turn. So for this last row, we're going to do a slip stitch, back loop only, and what you're going to do is insert your hook on top of the stitch, and you're going to go through this way, picking up that back loop only, and then yarn over, pull through, and pull through the hook, the wandering hook as well. Oops. So you're gonna, like I said, insert to the top of it, the back stitch of the V, yarn over, pull through all the way. And this right here is just going to give it a nice little detail at the end. But you're going to want to do this in every stitch along the top of the cowl and to the end. I'll meet you back when it's ready. Okay, at the end of row 21, you should have something that looks like this. I like doing the slip stitch back loop only to give it a little bit of more polished, even edging. So at the end of that round, you should chain 1, and I already pre-cut my yarn, but I leave about 12 inches of working tail to sew it shut. So it should look a little bit something like this. So we're gonna sew it up now. So the way to do that, you make sure your texture bit is on the inside, and you fold your ends toward each other. You want to make sure it's even, you know, lined up like the top ones match and the bottom ones match. And while you're sewing it up, you just kind of got to keep an eye on where you're sewing it up, so you don't like end up with something that's like this, or like, you want to make sure it's completely even, completely touching, so you have a nice seamless finish. Like, you're not going to be really mismatched and pulling it apart. When I first started crocheting, I would try to sew up panels. It would be like the worst mismatched time ever. So what I try to do is go into that first 2 crochets on the top where I'm working, and try to get those as lined up as I possibly can, and pull it tight, like snug but not too tight. And I just start working in through the sides of the crochet. So I try to make sure you can kind of see where the rows are in a sense. So like you see that row right there, you're going to make sure you get both sides of that row, both sides of the next row, so on and so forth. And if you just need to kind of readjust to make sure it shows up a little bit even, that's perfectly fine. I've done it. As long as at the end you're even and it's secure. And I just basically try to go through the back of the loop for the most part, so it looks less like you have a seam in the back. But I'll meet you at the end after it's sewn up, and I'll show you what it should look like. So at the end of this, you're gonna just tie up. I usually just tie it with the beginning tail and the ending tail, and I just thread it through to double secure it and to finish off with a nice clean edge. So I kind of just work it a little bit way through there, weaving in and out of the yarns, cut off the last tidbit, close as I can. It's very carefully so I don't cut the actual cowl. And then same with this. Usually I just thread it through with the little tiny ends, like if I have a small tail. Feed it through first. And then put the yarn into the needle and pull through. So at the end, let me flip it around for you so you can see it. So flip it back to the right side and you should have your newly crocheted secret cowl. I would like to see any one of you guys make this. Just tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see everyone's work. And so thank you guys for watching this pattern of the secret cowl. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, or subscribe. And if you guys wouldn't mind sharing the video, with me being new to YouTube, they don't really show my video to many people. Also, if you want to know more about me or follow me along, you can do it on Instagram and my blog. It'll be in the video description. If you want to purchase this downloaded pattern so you don't have ads or you can have it offline, that link will be down below as well. I hope you guys have fun making this, and like I said, I would love to see if you guys make any, but you guys have a great day.